tooth.
Yeah.
So mark your first one.
Okay.
And mark on the side as well. And then, so there's this one here, sharpen that tooth.
Yeah.
Flat one's sharp, bringing down the raker.
Right.
And these two are holding it. So let's just start there. 1, 2, 3.
Move on.
And then you skip one because they're opposites.
All right.
So you do all of the ones pointing this direction first, so you can just bring it back. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. Chainsaw pointing this way,
Yep.
direction that way. So then this is our next tooth.
Yeah.
So we'll mark it on this side, and then we'll flip this over this way.
Right.
So chainsaw's pointing forward.
Right.
And it's going that direction. And then your first one. 1, 2, 3.
Tip sharp on the saw. It's probably nice and sharp. Oh, I like it.
The last few weeks we've had some dry weather and we've been making the most of the hard dry ground and using the tractor to pull some logs that needed moved, and we're stacking them away. There's a mixture of lodgepole pine, Sitka spruce and larch, and we were trying to separate the larch as we want to get some milled to clad our pump house. They were downed or broken trees that we removed from a section of the forest, so some are quite damaged. So it was a bit of a task to sort through them and decide which had potential and which are to be used for firewood. A lot has happened as I've been at work, so again I've missed out on filming some of the build of our pump house. But one day I returned from work and the inner wall of the shuttering mould was removed, and David and his dad had started to build the frame of the pump house. It's really starting to take shape, and the concrete wall is looking so good. The next day I was around, they had started to fix the structure to the concrete base with bolts, and then the angled roof framing was going up also. Well, my strawberry patch I was so looking forward to. I had together propagated and bought new around 50 or 60 plants, and I had made a whole new bed for them. The moment they started to ripen ever so slightly, something just massacred them. Last year I had a little bit of damage from birds, but this year I'm sure it's mice that have chewed them off the stalks and carried them to a little spot in the garden to savour the very pale pink bits on the berries. I hardly even had time to protect them, they were just gone. I only got a tiny handful to enjoy myself. This year has been terrible for slugs as well, as I'm sure a lot of you have experienced too, what with all the rain this spring and summer. My garlic, however, is beautiful and ready to harvest after planting it back in the autumn. I am so pleased with it. This was the first time growing it. It's ready now to be dried and then eventually plated and hung up, although it won't last long in our household as we eat so much of it. It really is a fantastic crop to grow and so easy you hardly have to do anything to it. My garden, it is just the best place to be, and especially when the sun is shining. I'd be lost without it now, even after living most of my life without one. Nature never ceases to amaze and surprise me, and I'm constantly learning from failures as well as successes with my veg growing. The one thing that really makes my heart sing is the bees. I could honestly watch them all day buzzing around the Nepeta. I feel anxious about our insect life and the future of pollinators in this world. Does anyone remember the amount of insects that we used to have? I remember our kitchen window at night used to be covered in bugs of all sorts when the light was on inside. I don't think I've seen anything like that for many, many years. We must do everything we can to help our pollinators by growing a variety of plants and leaving wild native plants to grow where we may have previously weeded them out. It is amazing how the bees and hoverflies find the flowers and other insects make home in the undergrowth. After just 1 year, there is an abundance of wildlife in my garden, and I look forward to seeing that grow even further.